what triggered me, to be a cultural broker this is a long story. I think it was 20 something years ago. I found, I have been in the Chinese community for quite a while. Then we really have a strong community networks, and also I have a really positive community level standing, and then people knowing me. And I also have the knowledge to find, to access the different system, like the resources and program and services in the community within. So, and I also find this is a need. This is a demand in the Chinese community. Why people they need some people like us, to building the bridge, to connect them to the system. That's why I make myself, have this decision. I really want to be a cultural broker. So I am going to tell you a program. Yes, maybe I could start sharing the slide here. And so actually I'm working from the Newcomer navigation and support unit. And then at the Manitoba Possible. And sorry. So Manitoba Possible, people may not know the name because this name just only get it and change it to the new name in April last year, 2020. We formally call Society for Manitoba with Disabilities. So SMD right now is called Manitoba Possible. Why? Is because we believe this is an incentive and accessible society is possible, because we really want to let people know they could access the system. They could make them anything to make that happen. That's why we call Manitoba Possible. And then we work together to eliminate the barriers to make the people have the equal access and participate to all the system here. And I really want to just give you a really brief idea what is our unit doing. So Newcomer Navigation and Support Unit. So we are formally we are calling Avenue Cultural Program. We work with newcomers with disability who the first language is not English, of course, and also we help them to navigate the various support system and sector available to the supporting them. So this is our lovely team here. I got the colleague in the audience, my supervisor, Tracy Robertson, on the left-hand side, and then in the middle, in the third person, this is Reggie Sharma, and this is my lovely team here. So yeah, I'm so happy to working with them together for that 20 past year. So our unit, we have 9 cultural resource facilitators, and we are the cultural broker, we call ourselves, the working people with disability. We are originally coming from Afghanistan, China, Ethiopia, Philippines, India, Somalia, Sudan, South Sudan, and Syria. And we help people to gain confidence in their own ability to access the resources to support and encourage them, making sure they take the action on their own. So this is the program. So we're helping. I don't want to go through all this because you could get this from our website. So before we're talking about the role as a cultural broker, so I really want to asking from the audience here, because we try to doing like the polling question, but because some of the issue, I may want to make it a different way then. So this is the question we want to ask. We first starting working with a new client. So what do you think this is the most important area to do? Number A is the building a trust relationship. Number B, getting to know the client and the family. Number C, making a work plan. And number D, identifying what they need. So would you like to tell us the answer on the chat box? Like you could put it like A, B, C, D, whatever kind of you think most important, just put it on the chat box area.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, I saw the answer here. Most of the audience pick A, start with A. Yeah. And then some you're saying that we tie A, B together. This is, yeah, and some of the audience saying B and D. Actually, this is no right and wrong answer, right? Because I think, different cultural book club, they have the different approach to how to get to outreach and then to working with the new client. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's good. So we all won. That is, thank you. But so Tiffany, tell us what happens if someone would like to become a cultural broker? Like, what do they need to know then? If they want to be like you, what do they need to know?
Yeah, this is a good question. As a cultural broker, so we do so many things, from my experiences in that past 20 years. This is just a little bit outline what we're doing, like liaison, advocate, cultural guide, mediator, and change agents. What does that mean, right? I'm going to tell you some of my kind of the personal story and experiences to related to that, right? So like the liaison and advocate. So when I first get the referral for our services or in the community, I met someone who has disability, like example, with a child have an autism disability with the parents together, then I will try to kind of try to use my connection to get to know the family, what the individual is. First of all, I'm start to making the visit. Now because of the COVID, we may try to making a phone call first to get to know each other. I think, it's so important to let them know what we are doing, right? What is about our program, what our role is, what we can do to help them. And then we slowly to start to create a trust relationship. When they know what am I, so how many years has been in the community, what is my experiences, I've been helping different families and individuals, they will be start thinking, oh yeah, Tiffany and the Manitoba Possible, the NNSU unit is here to helping us. Then they will be start to be willing to open themselves to tell me what they need, what they struggle about now they're facing. On the hand, then I will be able to identify what they need, right? And then for what they need, then I'll be able to try to develop the work plan. Okay, for example, a kid with autism, so I can have to making sure are they already or eligible to be able to link up with the Children Disability Services, the agency helping them, have any case worker has been assigned. Any specialist like the speech pathologist, OT, anything, any specialist has been waiting and kind of applied on the waiting list for the family and the rich individual to access. Those take times, right? So I have my role have to be telling the family and the individual. Some of the waiting periods take times, some maybe faster, making sure they know how the system work. So in the meantime, so I have to be making sure how they could equally could access so many resources, like if the child have the disability, right, in the Canada age taxation, they will be able to apply for the child disability tax credit. I'm making sure they be all in place, and then making sure if the mom taking care of the kids at home, they will be eligible, and then apply for the primary caregiver application, making sure the family, to getting the equal access, for all those resources, right? So this is what I'm doing, and then and ensure they got appropriate and resources and system they should be access to. And as a cultural guide here, right? So I may want to share with you some of my story about like the cultural guide and the mediator. I could use in one of the example. Like I remember one day when I receiving a phone call, this is from the daycare sector. The daycare calling me, oh, Tiffany, would you mind to come down to helping us? Because we found that this is a kind of the child abuse suspect in that cases in the family. So this is a police officer here, and then the parents and the kids is at the meeting. So I really need you to come down because you're the one has been helping the family, right? So my role is at that day, I go to the daycare center. I'm trying to kind of making sure and understanding what the situation is. Then I talk to the parents, I talk to the daycare workers, and finally notice that this is some different cultural interpretation. So because, at the Chinese tradition, when the kids have cold and flu, and parents using some silver coins and then with some oil and almonds to scratching the kid's back. So scratching it, regularly. This is a purposes to kind of to get rid of your toxic from your body, and making sure your heat is going out from your body, and making sure you're able to be calm down and get well soon, right? However, this is a different cultural interpretation. In here, Canadian society, they always think, oh my goodness, this is look like a child abuse because, finding those kind of scratches on the kid's back, this is not good at all. Then my role at that day, then I have to making sure those parties to understand each other, making them the police officer and daycare sector, the workers and the teacher, making sure they know, what this is about, making them they understand what is the cultural differences is. And then also as a mediator, because this is look like a conflict there, right? So I'm making sure they notice that, this is no more conflict, whenever they have any misinterpretation, anything that they really want to understand each other, I'm the wall here. Give me a call, then I would try to have job with that, right? And then as a change agent, right? We try to making sure what is the understanding of our own cultural belief and values. And then we really want to make the service provider to know how the family knows seeing people, child with disability, how the parents, looking for education and support to the kids and the family. And because, children in Chinese culture, they always mean everything for them. So parents always do their best and everything the way it takes to making sure the children to get the best to them, and whatever they can do to making sure the kids will be able to grow healthier and then in a big growth. So as a change agent, I'm making sure, the school know that, oh, these kids even have autism. However, parent is really, really keen to want the child to make it healthily grow at home, healthily to get the access the education system, making sure they could learn like the other kids. So no difference at all, making sure education, was so important. I have to talk to the teacher, making sure, please, support this kids, support the family, making sure they they able to get access for all this information they want to.
Wow. Wow, it's very complex. Huh? So your work has multiple
Yeah.
aspects. Wow. So tell me, when you're doing this liaison and advocacy and as cultural guide and mediating and trying to change things for families, what are some of the challenges that you have found in your work?
Okay. Before I'm going to talk my personal challenge, I want to know from the audience here, what do you think? What is the most challenge you are facing as a cultural broker? Number 8, setting professional boundary with the clients and families. I think lots of workers, broker come facing it. Difficult to make the clients more independent. Number C, lack of resources. And number D is burnout. So please put your answer on the chat box here, then we can know what you are facing at. Some audience putting number C.
Okay.
Some putting A, right? A, B. Wow, AB is the most picked, right? Wow. So for me, I think, I got, those are the 5 areas I'm facing it. So I could just give you a little bit of the experiences of the challenges. What do you think my solution to deal with that, right? For the newcomer perception about disability. So because newcomer, they're all coming from the different cultural backgrounds. They always find, disability is so unlucky. And if they have some religious, background, they find this is a punished by the God, and they find they do something in the past, why they have the disability. They always don't want to let people know and the public know they have kids with disability, or themselves as an adult they have disability. They always think, this is not good to talk about. Yeah. So my role has to be try to educate the individual and the family, the parents. You are not alone here. So I have been working so many cases and family and individual. So this is not something about unlucky or punishment from God or nothing you done. So this is something, so we have to facing this is the truth. You are not alone have those kind of the health issues. We are here to help you. So many people have been facing it. There's just so many resources in Canada. You're able to get access. This is why we are here to help you, to link you up, to making sure you equally to access those resources. I know setting professional boundary is a really, really kind of challenging things. As I first was working with as a cultural broker, I got so many clients call me in the middle of the night, texting me, and so many things. And then even in the community, they pull me away to talk for all those their personal things, the health issue, any other things. We always facing it, right? Setting the professional boundary is not easy. I know it takes time, but because we really want to first build up a trust relationship, right? Setting the boundary at the first beginning, I think this is a really, really challenging thing. But however, we also have to let the individual and the parents or families know we still have our own life, right? So we're here to help you, but however, please, focuses to calling me between 9 to 5 or even 6. After that, you could reach me the next day, or just send me an email, then I could deal with it the next day or something when I am available, right? So try to making sure they know that you still have your own time, your families, you need to be kind of getting to be together, right? So I know this is not easy for the boundary setting, but we have to do it, right? Because we making sure the professional boundary, because we are trying to building the trust relationship, but we are not kind of making friends. Some people think, oh, we're making friends with the client, but we're not making friends. We are trying to still join the little line in between. We still want to maintain a professional images and boundary, making sure we help them whenever we are available, right? We can be 24/7, be able to reach out with them, but we just have to try our best, whenever we are able to. Lack of resources sometimes I'm dealing with, because so many cases come up. I could give you a story, like in sometime last year. All of a sudden, I got a cases. This is a gentleman. He got really severe injury at work, in a coma stage in the hospital. And however, this is so many issue. The wife is here in Winnipeg with them, with all the kids, and then the individual themselves, the gentleman, he hurt himself, injury at work, have some immigration status issue too. So for the health wise, I'm have to making sure they're able to get access, to all the interpretation services from the WLHA. They got all the specialists in places to help this individual. Even in the coma stage, OT is so important. And and then for the WCB called workers' compensation here in Manitoba, right? When any workers in Manitoba in any provinces they get hurt, they're eligible to claim for the WCB compensation, right? However, because the individual himself is in the coma stage, right? Then I have to helping them, making sure what is the resources to help the family to get to access the file, because of the privacy issue. I know in other provinces like Ontario or BC, so of the privacy issue, if this is not the client himself or herself, they cannot able to access their own file, even family, unless you have to set for the legal representative or have the power of attorney, or now it's called committee. So complicated. I'm stuck there, right? At that time, then I have to talking to my supervisor, Tracy. I've been talking to my colleagues to find it out, okay, what is the resource of what the family to get the legal advice that they should do, then make them in place to making sure the family to able to have one daughter to on behalf of him to access his file, like for the worker compensation and also for the immigration department, how they could renewing his status here in Winnipeg. So whenever you come with some issue about lack of resources, you stuck, always try to speed up with your colleague, reaching out with your supervisor, or do some research, or talking with your group, making sure you could able to get some resources and getting some material information. Then you could work with the individual. Burnout, right? So I remember when I working with so many people have health issues, personal issues and family issues at the same place when that past 20 years. We always have up and down, depression, stress, anxiety on, we're dealing with. How we could doing the burnout, right? So when we feel so stressful, we have to be try to talking with some good friends. Of course, we cannot saying all the details of the client because of the confidentiality issue. We just saying, oh, I'm stressed out because of this, try to talk with someone, making sure you have some downtime yourself, downtime is so important for us to maintain our good stage and well-being, right? So doing some meditation is really, really good resources. Yoga, right? Go for have a walk and doing some exercise, and then you maybe need to seek out some of the counseling services you need to, or if your workplace have the employees assistance program, so reach out some counseling services to making sure you talk to some people. Don't just keep everything yourself. This is not good, right? So you have to making sure you are in a good state and well-being to get ready and to help the others people, right? Independency of the client, right? So whenever you start working with the client, you always find, wow, they all rely to you. You find that. And then everything, they will pick up the phone call or text you, oh, Tiffany, I need help on this, can you help me on this and that, right? So I have become a lot of this, and making sure once you have the client really rely on you, but you have to start slowly to making sure they understand, okay, we are not able to be 24/7 be with you. They need to be build up the independency and helping them. So if you're going to the medical appointment, I can't be every single appointment to go in with you, because I have to help the others too. So Winnipeg Regional Health Authorities, they have the interpretation services, they have interpreter available, and some of the evening need to order some supplies or materials for their own needs, like the home care supplies. They trying to teach them how they could order themselves. If they need to email, then I would try to type up something for them first, making sure they know to understand. So next time you could do it, just copy it and paste, then you could practice this with them, making sure to build up their independency. They need to grow, right? They need to try to make themselves, they have their own life to not relying on you. So this is some of my experiences on that.
Wow. Oh, thank you, Tiffany. It's very amazing to hear you, imagining you doing all that work. Wow. Now tell me, Tiffany, so in all the work what are some of the highlights? Like, are there times when you felt that you made a difference and you say, wow, yes.
Yeah. So I think before I really want to touch on to the highlight and showing my success story. So I want to ask about the audience. Your turn to telling me, how did you measure the success of the client and the cases you're working with? Number 8, clients can go to the appointment themselves. And then number B, client can equally access all the resources in the program. Number C, client can order the supplies and material themselves. And number D is all of the above. What do you think? Just put your answer on the chat box and we can see. Yeah, most of the audience put D. Yeah, D. Yes, all of the above, actually. Because, as we talk about the challenge in the success, right? Challenge is like the independency of the client, right? So how we build up the independency, right? This is all of the above, right? So for one of the success story I want to tell you is, at the first beginning, this is quite sad story. It's quite emotional. I hope I won't cry. So I think it's about how many years ago? Oh, 14 years ago. When I was working with one of the clients in the hospital. At the same time, I was asked, "Oh, Tiffany, you're here. Would you mind could help me to just a quick interpretation for this meeting because we have some important information. We need to talk to this mom." So then I go to the room, and then, oh my goodness, this is really, really sad to hear that, because this is one girl. She born really immature. Is an immature baby. However, for all her health issue, she has been living in a box and all the life support for over a month or two already. And then the mom was told by the nurses and the doctor saying that, we have to telling you this, your girl have lots of health issue. So we may want to decide to give up on her right now, or you have to be expecting once you having her coming back home later when she's getting ready, she will have lots of disability health issue like walking issues, feeding issues, talking, hearing, making decision, everything. So, and even vision. So, how do you think we should we should just put everything down right now? So, oh my goodness, I find, it's so hard for me to interpret, for helping this lady to try to explaining what the doctor and the nurses are saying to her. But as a cultural broker, I have to let her know, okay, this is what the nurses tell you. So what's your decision about? And then I remember this lady, and then all of a sudden kneel down on the floor and then say, "Oh, no, no, no. I know, this is not easy. I know this is not easy. I will going to try my best to to take care of my girls, to making sure no matter she may not be healthy, I will be using my time, my love to helping her, at home to making sure, she grows, like the other kids." Yeah, she already get that expectation. It's not easy. This is a huge, long journey for her, but however, she really want to try, not give up, not give up. She cry and yell, at the meeting. So I feel so bad, for that lady. Then after this, I didn't see her for about 6 months. And then I was seeing her in the grocery store. Uh, then, however, I don't know at that time is appropriate to asking her, "How's your daughter?" Because I don't know, because this is not a good time to ask, right? I may have getting any negative result or answer from her. So then I don't want to ask. But a month later, then I got a referral, and then from the from the from the agency. Then I'm start officially really working with this family, working with this little girl, and then mom and her dad, and then the brother, the whole family. So what I'm going to telling you is, this individual struggle a lot with communication. She cannot speak at that time. She have to be on hearing aids, and then try to be doing some sign languages to communicate. We got all the specialists in place to helping her, going at home every single week, teaching her how to communicate with other people. So now she's already 14, 14 and a half. Wow, I could tell you, she loved going to school. she like talking to people, and because she don't have the full hard of hearing, she just have the higher pitch um, kind of hearing that he cannot pick up some words. Then after that, she able to always speak. Of course, it's not as normal and fluently like the other kids, but however, she loved, now she's a really good communicator. She loves talking with people, and then she walks, and at the first beginning, the first few months and then first few years, this is not easy. We got the OT, have been working closely with the family, how to making him work, how the exercise could do, what is the practices they could do, how the moms could help her to grow and walks. So many things, she's able to do.
Wow.
Appointments, right? So the family at the first few years, she really, really dependent on me to helping her because lots of the issues they're facing. Then I have to making sure they have all the appointment in place, reminding her and things. Every appointment I have to go in with her. But now the mom herself and the brothers and the girl herself could go to the appointment, most of the appointment they're able to go themselves with interpreters, especially some medical appointments. But for the school or studying, those I'm always involved because I really want to making sure in those areas she grow really, really healthy ways, right?
Wow.
And then as I mentioned, right, she loves to learn now. Even now it's the COVID. Lots of school have to doing the remote learning. Some kids have to go into school, but she always sitting in front of the computer an hour before the scheduled time to waiting and waiting for the teacher. Wow, I really want to see the teacher. I really want to learn. Um, and then it was so funny. I remember last week, one teacher emailed me, oh, we have to cancel the class today because this is some issue of the other teacher. Then I let the girls know and the parents know. Then, however, the girls text me and send me the voice message. Hi, Tiffany. Can you please help me talk to talk to the teacher? Talk to the teacher. I want to learn. Oh my goodness. Oh, I feel so kind of, well, really touching because she really loved to learn, right?
Mhm.
Can you imagine when 14 years ago, she cannot even speak.
Mhm.
She cannot even walk. A lot of issue. But now she could learn, she loved to learn.